Getting set to kick off to the combination of Henry Bailey and Alex Van Dyke. The Jets winning the toss and about to receive. And here is Bailey, the first-year player from UNLV. Good coverage by the Patriots as Bailey is hit down short of the 20-yard line. An 18-yard return taken down by backup linebacker Marty Moore. There's Frank Wright making his fourth straight start for the injured Neil O'Donnell. A look at the offensive line. They played well in the win over Arizona. Jumbo Elliott is back at left tackle, bothered by the chronic back problems. The quarterback is Wright. Running backs Adrian Morrell and Richie Anderson. Morrell with 744 rushing yards, number 4 in the AFC. And we'll see quite a bit of Wayne Quebec. The toss for Morrell. He's able to break the tackle, reaches out to the 24-yard line. And a look at the New England defensive unit. Willie McGinnis coming off a strong game last week against Miami. 8 tackles and 2 sacks. The Patriot front 4. A change in the linebacking corps. Dwayne Sabb starting for Chris Slade, who has not been playing well recently. Ricky Reynolds opens at left corner, starting for the injured Ty Law. Moving over from the right side, Jimmy Hitchcock starting on the right side. A second down and 5. Now Morrell tries that right side. And again able to break a tackle, but he's shy of the first down. The left defensive end, Mike Jones, and Lawyer Malloy coming up from the secondary, making the stop. It'll be a 3rd down and 1 for the Jets.
We'll see Adrian Morrell try to extend those numbers from last week. Almost 200 yards, averaging 6.4 a carry. And they're going to be, even though the New England Patriots are 30th against the pass, we're going to see Adrian Morrell with the ball a lot this afternoon.
And Morrell turns the corner. And we'll have to see where they spot it. The Patriots feel they held him. Malloy had the angle on him, as did Johnson.
All depends on the spot on that one.
Well, it is a Jet spot and a 1st down. Sam, you mentioned the stat of being 30th against the pass, but that's deceiving because of the fact that the Patriots have won 6 of their 9 games, so they're going up against clubs that have to come from behind.
And they are 8th against the run. This is a team that is throwing the ball. Their offense is controlling the scoring, but not controlling the clock. So the opponent's offense is on the field a lot and running up those stats.
One other factor, they have allowed 3 long Hail Marys, 2 in the game against Jacksonville. Well, the Jets forced to take a timeout. The play clock running down, so they avoid the delay of the game. Just shy of 2 minutes gone by. Patriots and Jets with no score. Jets in their first possession of the game, and it is a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. That's Keyshawn Johnson in motion. Play action, and Wright looking for Graham. It'll be a 2nd down and 10. Graham covered by Clay and Reynolds. We are joined on the sidelines today by Len Berman. Let's check in on the field with Len.
All right, thanks, Marv. You know, with Bill Parcells, there's always speculation what he'll be doing in the future. There are some Jets fans who would like to see him come back to the stadium with the success that he's had with the Giants over the years. Well, Patriots owner Bob Kraft told me before the game that Bill Parcells has told him that the Patriots are the last team that he will coach. So they'll decide when the season's over. They'll figure it out. But if he coaches, it will be with New England. Marv, Sam?
All right, thanks, Len. 2nd down and 10 from the 30-yard line, and Wright connecting with Graham. Ricky Reynolds on the coverage, and the ball is spotted just past the marker. It is a 1st down for the Jets. Well, there's been much speculation, getting back to what Len reported, that Parcells could be interested in going elsewhere, be it back to broadcasting or perhaps another team. The Jets have certainly come up. His answer earlier this week, he said the Jet rumors are very distasteful. He would not say anything else about that. Here's Morrell. Short pickup by Adrian Morrell. And Sam, I get the idea he is really enjoying coaching this year, but remember, he did ask out of that final year of his 5-year contract. It was canceled. He has had what would be considered to be an icy relationship with Patriots owner Bob Kraft. So his future is uncertain, but he figures to be in an excellent position the way things are going.
And I tell you, coaches don't like to hear conversation about next year because they're constantly trying to get their team to focus on this game.
2nd down and 7. And here's Morrell. Nice move by Morrell for another first down. Tripped up by the middle linebacker, Ted Johnson.
This is what Bill Parcells was worried about. A New York Jet team with maybe the best running back in the division. Good solid zone blocking up front. Now look at the hole. Morrell reads the bend back. That's not really a cut back. It's not by design. The offensive line is going to spread the defensive line, and the hole will be picked. In this blocking scheme, Marv, you don't have to drive anybody off the ball. Just make contact, stay with them, and let the running back run.
Keyshawn Johnson split to the right, and Jeff Graham to the left. 1st and 10 from midfield. Morrell continues to run well. The free safety, Willie Clay, on the stop. 6 carries, 28 yards for Morrell. One other point regarding Parcells. I don't really think he knows at this moment what he will be doing.
Well, he told me before the game that he wanted to get back in the booth with you.
Yeah.
Which is today, this afternoon. He would like to, which is worrying me a little bit too, and my anxiety levels going up as a result of that last report.
Right. I know that's very high on his list of options. 2nd down and 3. And guess who? Adrian Morrell. And he stopped short of the first down. So it has been Adrian Morrell left and then right. This time, Mark Wheeler got the wraps on him.
The blocking up front is not only taking place at the point of attack, but it's taking place throughout the run. Matt O'Dwyer at the very end of this play is still blocking after the whistle blows. Last week he had a 15-yard penalty for the same kind of block. That's what you want your players to do, though. Block until they hear that whistle. Don't be stopping just prior to it.
10th play of the drive. Patriots yet to touch the ball offensively with 5 minutes gone by. Saw the movement, penalty marker down, and that pass play intended for Richie Anderson broken up. The strong safety Terry Ray getting a piece of it. The referee is Bernie Kukar. And the call against New England.
3rd down and less than 5. A good time to work the hard count.
Offside, the defensive left tackle. That's a 5-yard penalty, first down.
You know, in practice, the coach will simulate situation. There's the hard count. He's not quite back. He can jump off sides if he gets back. The penalty is there would be no penalty, obviously. But the situation in practice is practiced. In other words, they say it's 3rd down and less than 3, and the quarterback works a hard count.
And that was Teddy Bruschi, the rookie from Arizona, called for the offside. Right with a floater ball pass completed to Jeff Graham, working the sideline beautifully. Jimmy Hitchcock, who was a target last week of Dan Marino, was covering on the play. Another Jet first down.
And Jeff Graham in game 6 suffered a knee injury, had arthroscopic surgery, got back in about 16 or 17 days. Medical athletic surgery like that, the arthroscopic surgery, gets these guys back fast. He has no trouble cutting off those knees now.
And a first down at the 26-yard line. Here's Morrell. That time got caught behind a big pileup, was stopped by Willie McGinnis. And we're set to check in for the first time with Greg Gumbel. Here's Greg.
All right, Marv, we'll take you to New Orleans. The Oilers and the Saints. Watch Chris Chandler drop the snap, pick it up, step forward, and hit Chris Sanders coming across the middle, and nobody will catch him. 42 yards and a touchdown with the extra point. The Oilers jump to the 7-0 lead on the New Orleans Saints. Marv?
Thank you, Greg. Well, Houston looking for its 6th win of the season. Coming into today, they're 2 games behind the leaders in the Central, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And a timeout is called here. The Jets using 2 timeouts in the early going. We'll be right back. Sam, what is going on here? The Jets having to use 2 timeouts early with the clock running down.
Well, they've substituted on almost every play, and they're getting the play in a little bit late. That doesn't give them a time, or it doesn't give time for the quarterback to call it, get into the line, snap it in 40 seconds.
2nd down and 10, and right throwing end zone, touchdown, Jeff Graham. Jeff Graham with his 2nd touchdown catch of the season. He beat the right corner, Jimmy Hitchcock, on a 26-yard pass play.
Inside release, straight up the field. The safety's dead in the middle, and the ball is thrown way over the shoulder. Full extension on the catch. This is only the 2nd time this year they've taken the ball, their first drive, and marched it in for a touchdown.
Yes, there has been a pattern in that department. They have not done well in their opening drive. But this one, controlling the ball for 6 minutes, 17 seconds. Nick Lowry on for the extra point. 12 plays, 80 yards. And it's Frank Wright combining with Jeff Graham for a 7-0 Jet lead. The Boston area codes is pointed out by our crack statistician Elliott Cow. Troy Brown on the kick return. He burned the Jets last season on the recovery of a fumble on a kick return. He goes 28 yards, but a penalty marker is down. Lonnie Young made the stop, and the call against the Jets.
Unusual. Now that goes on at the end of the play. The Patriots are one of the better teams in field position after a kickoff return.
Illegal use of hands. Number 56 on the kicking team. Hands to the face. That's a 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
So Rick Hamilton is called on the penalty. Let's check out the lineups. Drew Bledsoe at the helm for the New England Patriots. Up front, Armstrong, Roberts, Woolabaugh, Rucci, and Lane. And the Patriots start out from their 38-yard line. The Jets with a 7-0 lead. And it's Curtis Martin running well and running for the first down. Taken out of bounds by the right corner, Ray Mickens. A 12-yard pickup for the outstanding second-year man out of Pitt. Bledsoe, the quarterback. Martin and Gash are the running backs. The receivers, Jefferson, Glenn, and Coates. Terry Glenn leading all rookie receivers with 47 catches. When they go double tight end, a familiar name, Keith Byers, will check in as the second tight end. Keith Byers playing in his 4th game as a Patriot, coming over after he was released by Jimmy Johnson in Miami. Here's Bledsoe, and that one sails over the head of Sean Jefferson. It'll be a 2nd down and 10. The Jets defensively getting a lift. A surprise Hugh Douglas, who was to play today, but in the starting lineup, back from a fractured right ankle. Marvin Jones also making his return from the sprained knee suffered back in Game 5 against the Redskins. He's missed the last 4 games. And you saw the secondary, Glenn, Green, Jones, and Mickens. 2nd down and 10. Again, it is Martin. Big hole. And then is able to get inside the 40-yard line. Another New England first down.
They're rotating. Sam Gash back in the ball game on this play. Keith Byers out. He played the last one. This is a draw play. The quarterback's going to take 2 steps back, looking down the field, turns, and the lead draw by the lead back. There's nothing left. Everybody drops back. The first retreat by the linebackers to defend the pass. By the time they come up, there's blockers on them.
2nd consecutive run for 12 yards for Curtis Martin, who has just killed the Jets. First down at the 38-yard line. Bledsoe getting the time, have the long look, and it's intercepted. Aaron Glenn on the interception. And the play blown dead. The pass was intended for Terry Glenn.
The draw was fake. They had both wide receivers cross each other all the way across the field. Aaron Glenn all over this one, though. The ball's just in the air too long. By the time it comes down, Aaron Glenn's able to take position away. Fake the draw. Hold the linebackers. You're going to see it coming across the field. Right in here is going to be the area of the catch, but there's Glenn. Really, that's the receiver's fault more than the quarterback. The receiver should come back and box Aaron Glenn out. Watch him. He's going to come back inside. He's got position on him now, but Glenn is too fast. Anytime you're running that long, you got time to recover.
Third interception of the season for Aaron Glenn. Drew Bledsoe picked off for only the 7th time this season, among the fewest in the NFL. Richie Anderson getting the call, tripped up by Jimmy Hitchcock. Well, on the pregame show, we were talking about the rat traps in jet green that were placed right throughout the New England Patriot locker room, and obviously there was reason for concern on the part of head coach Bill Parcells. They are in the trap here in the Meadowlands. Down 7-0. Bledsoe picked off just a moment ago. 6:40 remaining in this opening quarter. And right for Anderson. And he is taken down at the 20-yard line. A pickup of 6. Ricky Reynolds on the tackle.
Richie Anderson is being used more and more as this season goes along as a receiver out of the backfield. He's got good hands, but he's also a good blocker. Now, he's not one of those big, bruising fullback types. In fact, he almost looks like a tailback, but he's used as a fullback, and we'll find him in the flat and down the field as this game goes on.
Richie Anderson in his 3rd season out of Penn State as a senior, 2nd in the nation in scoring. 3rd down and 5. And Reich out of the shotgun, difficulty with the snap, and is able to cover up. Down to the 2-yard line. He is chased by Chris Slade.
Shotgun snap. Quarterback is really just catching a pass. It looks like it's right to him. Sometimes the quarterback will glance up, try to see if he can peek and see a blitz coming or see if he can read coverage, just like a receiver taking his eye off the ball on a catch. Ball goes through. That's almost a turnover, and it could be a turnover because now they've got that long, well, it's 4th down. They're going to have to punt it out of there, but that one was one of those plays where you can give the 7 points you just made away.
And a short kick from Hansen. Here's Meggett inside the 35 and reaches out to the 26-yard line. Stopped by Kyle Clifton. Only a 36-yard punt from Hansen, who was deep in his end zone, and a 14-yard return. Lead on the touchdown pass from Frank Wright to Jeff Graham. Bledsoe on a deflection. It is picked off again by the Jets. Victor Green, the strong safety. Play was blown dead. Once again, Jets try to pick up additional yardage. So Bledsoe once again trying to hit Terry Glenn. The earlier interception was a pass intended for Glenn. And here's Drew Bledsoe coming in with only 6 interceptions for the season. And already in this first quarter, he's been picked off twice, and he is 0 for his first 3.
And they did not blow it dead. That extra yardage did count. Drew Bledsoe and Bill Parcells standing silently there on the sideline. Bill just not ready to comment on that last play. Ball bounced off the receiver, though. That's something the quarterback can't control when he lets the ball go.
Well, I think the conversation in his own mind was on the salty side.
Absolutely.
All right, Morrell is stopped. Short pickup for Adrian Morrell as the Jets start out from their 27-yard line.
Glenn was in motion, came back inside. Ball is right there. That's a catchable ball. That's not a high throw at all. You like to throw the ball letter high so that if there is a deflection like that, it bounces down or to the side. But that's a ball that every receiver in this league is supposed to catch.
And Victor Green came up with his first interception of the season. Not pretty numbers here at the start for Bledsoe. The Jets 2nd down and 7. Morrell trying to pick his way, but gang tackled. Picked up a couple. We are set for another update. Let's check in with Greg Gumbel.
All right, Marv, in Philadelphia, the Eagles with a 7-0 lead, and then the Bills special teams come up big. This is rookie Gabe Northern, blocks the punt, picks it up, takes it 18 yards for the touchdown. The extra point ties things up. The Bills and the Eagles at 7 apiece in the first quarter. Marv?
Thank you, Greg. Philadelphia Eagles coming into today tied with Washington on top of the NFC East with records of 7-2. The Eagles' major problem has been on special teams, and the out pattern does not connect. Richie Anderson, the intended receiver, covered by the strong safety Terry Ray. So it is 3 and out for the Jets with 3:10 remaining in this first quarter, and Meggett dropping back as the punt unit checks in. Drew Bledsoe getting set for his 3rd series of the day. He has been intercepted his first 2. Brian Hansen from his 16. Low snap. And Meggett calling for the fair catch of the tackle. And a flag is down.
Anytime that punt returner waves his hand, his job is to wave it back and forth. Clearly did it. He cannot be touched.
Henry Bailey making the stop after the clear indication for the fair catch was shown by Meggett.
He's got to give everybody. There it is. There's the fair catch. He can still move forward. Now, he made the fair catch, and then he took 2 or 3 steps forward. That is irrelevant. He has to go find the ball. The ball can be moved around, and it is, because it's a little windy down there, and it's gusting around, and the ball is not going to take a true flight at the bottom end of the punt.
Sam, that's a rare instance for Meggett. That's only the 3rd fair catch that he's called for this season, and this one certainly paid off.
I can remember Bill Parcells telling us earlier that he's lighter, quicker, and bringing them back more.
Right. He was saying during preseason that he was passing up on the dessert line at training camp. So first down at the 48, and Bledsoe's pass is deflected once again.
And part of that is the design of the play. It was a 3-step drop, but the offensive lineman backed up. Well, that means that they've got protection, but those defensive linemen are close enough to reach up and bat the ball down. They're looking past their blocker. Arms go up just as they try to time the throw. And as you saw right there, that time it was Marvin Washington. Arm got up, and that's just part of the technique of a defensive man. If you can't get to the quarterback, try to bat it down.
Well, Marvin Washington, a basketball player in Idaho, goes 6'6", and that was a clear-cut rejection. Curtis Martin hit for the loss by Hugh Douglas, who is hearing his name chanted by this crowd.
First time he's come back from this injury, making a big difference to this defense. He and Marvin Jones back today for the first time. Right over here, you'll see Hugh Douglas plays off the would-be blocker. It's a draw play, so you're hoping that Douglas comes hard up the field. He didn't. He read the block.
And now Dave Meggett replacing Curtis Martin, lining up with Sam Gash in the backfield for this 3rd and 16. Look out, Bledsoe fumbles. Recovered by Douglas. The hit by Chad Cascadden, and it has been all Jets here at the start, and Drew Bledsoe is having a very difficult time in the first quarter.
Chad Cascadden is playing in place of Mo Lewis, who's out with a pectoral muscle pull. Hugh Douglas. And that is the look of a coach that has tried to tell his team all week long, watch out for the trap down in the Meadowlands. And the trap has snapped on him right now.
The Jets first down at the Patriot 29. They lead 7-0. 2:13 remaining in this first quarter. Right goes short range to Morrell. And Morrell gets inside the 25-yard line. Willie Clay, the free safety, with the ankle tackle.
Chad Cascadden is going to come in and just get a clean rush. I don't think Drew Bledsoe ever really sees him. And part of what's happening right here is a coach can preach all week long that a team's going to be ready for you. They've had 2 weeks to prepare. They haven't conceded this season. But in the minds of the players, they're looking at 1-8, and sometimes it takes a first quarter like this to wake them up.
2nd and 3 at the 22-yard line. Morrell. Another Jet first down. Theo Sangapullatelli with the wraps on Adrian Morrell. Well, Drew Bledsoe 0 for 4 here at the start.
You know, he's got a new coach this year, Chris Palmer. There he is. He's on the right here. You can see him. And Chris Palmer is really the translator. When Bill Parcells has a message to give to the quarterbacks, and Drew Bledsoe in particular, Chris Palmer will translate and basically soften the message a little bit and constantly give him not only coaching techniques, but be his comforter a little bit and a sounding board for Drew Bledsoe.
Chris Palmer reassigned from his position last year as wide receivers coach. White with the time. Was he in? No. Keyshawn Johnson tried to straddle that end line, but was out of the end zone. He beat Willie Clay, the free safety, but it will go down as an incomplete pass.
The ball is thrown just a little long, and as he goes up for it, he's going to be clearly out of bounds. But let me just tell you, that is an acrobatic catch. And over this kid's career, barring injury, he's going to make a lot of them and get both feet in.
Keyshawn Johnson 2 weeks ago, the last game for the Jets, outstanding against Arizona. 7 catches, 94 yards, 1 touchdown. 2nd and 10 at the 18. And it's Morrell trying to get to the outside. But that was diagnosed by the combination of Willie Clay and Jimmy Hitchcock.
Great stop and start by Morrell. This guy can change direction, but he can also stop and start, and that frees him. In the first quarter, the Jets have been a very good rushing football team. That's where they get most of their rushing yardage in the first quarter, as you can see right down the line right here through their first 9 games.
Nice telestrator work, Sam.
Thank you. Thanks for the...
You are most effective circling numbers. I just realized that.
That's what... It's yours, Mark.
Comes to a close. It's the Jets 7, the Patriots nothing. You're watching the NFL on NBC. Minus 15 passing because of the sack. 3rd down and 8. The Jets at the New England 16 as the second quarter gets underway. And right with the pump, and then finds the opening inside the 10 and is shouldered down at the marker. Willie Clay, Lawyer Malloy combined to make that stop.
At 5 wide receivers in the game, man-to-man coverage on defense. As soon as Frank Reich started to run, there was nobody there because the defenders were running with the receivers. See how the pass rush goes by the quarterback. Now he's got to be careful how he not only ends the play, but how he holds on to that football.
And he did pick up a 1st down. It is a 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. They'll have Keyshawn Johnson split to the left, and Jeff Graham is to the right. Adrian Morrell, short pickup, met by Todd Collins, the outside linebacker.
Todd Collins played at Carson Newman College with my son. I don't believe you knew that.
No, I did not.
Well, I'm telling you.
Fascinating, Sam.
Yeah. 2 years there at Carson Newman. They were national champions, NAI national champions, while Todd Collins was a linebacker there.
Todd is back from his 1-year retirement, which did not please the Patriots last season. 2nd down and goal at the 6. That's Johnson, number 19 in motion. And right, able to complete. Richie Anderson just short of the goal line. Hit out by Lawyer Malloy. You know, we talked with Lawyer Malloy yesterday and asked, is there a story behind your name? I'm not talking about Malloy, I'm talking about his first name. He said his grandfather, LJ, wanted the name to start with L, went to the dictionary and came up with the name Lawyer. Could have been something like lampshade, Sam, so I guess he's fortunate.
It all depends on where your thumb stops when you start thumbing through that dictionary.
3rd and goal at the 1. Morrell, touchdown. And again, Bill Parcells takes a long walk. His team is now trailing the Jets 13-0. Adrian Morrell with his 4th touchdown of the season.
Jets are doing nothing tricky now. Dwyer's pulling just a toss sweep and using the pure speed of Adrian Morrell. I don't think in the entire first quarter, and certainly not in this drive, no trick plays, straight fundamental football.
And Morrell flips a souvenir to the crowd. 8 plays, 29 yards in 4 minutes and 14 seconds. Jets getting the ball on that fumble with Bledsoe taking that hard hit. So the point after by Nick Lowry. It's a 14-0 Jet lead. Jets jumping in front of the Patriots, 14-0. Don Silvestri getting set to kick it off. Earlier this season, back in week 3, remember the Jets led Miami 14-0 and lost that game 36-27. Excellent kick by Silvestri, and Megan has to remain in the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
On the touchdown just a moment ago, Fred Baxter, the in man on the line of scrimmage, has a, there goes our telestrator going crazy right here. On the far right of your screen right there, it's got the key block down the field right here. As the off guard pulls, though, he just cleans up, and then it's pure speed. Didn't get a lot out of that one. I'll remind you one other thing. Last week they were ahead 17-0 at Arizona and led Arizona back in the game, but came back to win it.
That was a 31-21 final score. This after the Jets had lost 8 straight games. Curtis Martin is handled. Marvin Jones, a linebacker, making his return today, able to come up with that tackle. Let's check in again with Greg Gumbel. Greg?
All right, Marv, in Miami, the Dolphins trailed Indianapolis 3-0 until Dan Marino hooked up with O.J. McDuffie. That's a 12-yard touchdown with the extra point. The Dolphins lead Indianapolis 7-3 early in the second quarter. Marv?
Thank you, Greg. The Colts at 5-4. They are a game behind New England and Buffalo. Second down and 10. And the floating pass caught by Terry Glenn, but he's immediately rocked by Chad Cascadden, who has made an impression here in the first half. Chad Cascadden, a walk-on at the University of Wisconsin, backup linebacker and excellent special teams player in college. So he was a backup in college, and he is a starter now here in the NFL. That's due to injuries. Starting at right linebacker with Mo Lewis out of action. Third down and 5 from the 25. Bledsoe from the blind side is turned around, and the play is blown dead. It is called a sack. Hugh Douglas. And for the Jets, their second sack of the day.
Very few players can come back and make this kind of an impact coming off of an injury. Usually you come in, you measure yourself a little bit. But Hugh Douglas is playing with that old reckless abandon that you hear so much about from the olden days when the players didn't have face masks. This guy is a football player.
Third sack of the season for Douglas. And Tom Tupa getting set to punt. And you see the flags come flying.
Marv, what's happening here? The Jets have their mind in the game.
Ball start. Number 35 on the offense, moving prior to the snap. The 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Number 35 is the rookie backup running back, special teams man Mario Greer. So Tupa will punt from his end zone. Tom Tupa's had an outstanding season, and he will punt to Wayne Trebek. 4 minutes in, second quarter, and New England trailing 14-0. And a beauty by Tupa. Trebek with the fair catch at the 40. A 42-yard punt. Timeout taken. Jets with the commanding early lead. The next 2 games could be the telling point. Today against the Jets, and then next week a major test against John Elway and the Denver Broncos. First and 10 at the 40, and Wright had a bit too much on that, intended for Richie Anderson, covered by Dwayne Sabb. All right, right here, let's check in with Len Berman. Len?
Well, Marv, as you know, Jets fans are among the most loyal. Another 76,000 to sell out, as always, the Meadowlands. And keep in mind, they have not come here to witness a home win for the Jets now over a year. It's a year ago, October, since they won on their home field. So perhaps this is the day, although the Jets have frittered some first-half leads in the past this season, Marv.
You know, I love when Len uses the word fritter.
It turns me on, too.
Oh, man. Can't get enough of that. Inside handoff, and Morrell across the 45 would not go down and picks up the first down. Sam and Wheeler combined to make the stop.
Bill Parcells has made the point over and over to us that this is the best running back in the division. With holes like that, you can look like the best running back. You know, last week, Bill thought last week that he had some very poor play in one quarter. Look at the numbers right there on this game, that the second quarter was the worst quarter of the year. I wonder if he compares, how it compares to this game so far.
I'd have to say he put that first quarter right alongside last week's second quarter. Morrell could not make the turn. Adrian Morrell run out by Ted Johnson. And again, we'll check in with Greg Gumbel.
All right, Marvin, we'll take you to Tampa, where the Bucs are hosting the Raiders. The pitch to Harvey Williams, and the Oakland running back throws his second career touchdown pass, an 18-yarder to James Jett with the extra point. The Raiders and the Bucs are now even at 7, 6.5 to play in the first half. Marv?
Thanks, Greg. Adrian Morrell has now carried the ball 16 times for 55 yards. Second down and 8. Graham to the left and Johnson right. 9.5 to go in this first half. And Wright's pass on target for Kyle Brady. Met by Ted Johnson. It has not been a good season offensively for Kyle Brady. That is only his 5th catch of the year.
And you could hear the crowd react when he caught the ball. We were given the stat that 5% of the passing game goes to the tight end for the Jets, while 30% of the Patriots passing game goes to Ben Coates. So when Kyle Brady caught that pass, it was as if something really big happened here in Jetville.
All right, just short of the first down. It's a 3rd and 1. Baxter in motion. Morrell with the running room inside the 20, inside the 15. And Lawyer Malloy was able to catch him and bring him down. It's a 26-yard run for Adrian Morrell.
After Adrian Morrell bounces outside, watch him change speeds. Now, he doesn't change direction. He just changes speed to freeze. See, right there, and then accelerates again. Everybody loses the angle.
The Jets with a first down at the New England 13-yard line. 81 yards, 17 carries, and a touchdown. The Jets looking for another. They're up 14-0. And Morrell with a nice hole. Offensive line is doing an outstanding job. Mike Jones on the tackle of Morrell. Well, Nick, and 4 down at the 7-yard line. Morrell straight up the middle. Ted Johnson made the stop, and it is a first down for the Jets. First and goal inside the 2.
This is just domination by the Jets offensive line against the defensive line. Every time the ball is handed off, it's the linebacker or the safety that makes the first hit on the running back. You know that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of Miami and Thurman Thomas, Buffalo, Terry Allen, all of them have had big days against this pad defense.
First and goal. And it's Morrell. This time he is stopped. Lost a half-yard on the play. What a job by the offensive line. The combination of Jumbo Elliott, Harry Galbraith, Roger Duffy, Matt O'Dwyer, David Williams. Harry Boatswain has also been on the field. It's a second and goal just outside the 2-yard line. 9th play of the drive. And the pattern has remained the same for the Patriots. The opposition has had the ball most of the time, but in those other games, Patriots were able to get on the board, usually quickly. Not the case here in the first half. Play action, right with the long look, incomplete, and a flag down. Todd Collins with the coverage on the tight end, Kyle Brady.
They're going to call interference in the end zone. That puts the ball on the 1-yard line.
Pass interference, number 50 on the defense. The interference occurred in the end zone on the 1-yard line, first down.
The penalty really is Todd Collins reaches with his right hand and grabs the receiver as he crosses the field. And really, at the line of scrimmage, when you're faking a pass or faking a run like that, you're legal at the line of scrimmage. But once you start moving down the field, you can't continue to grab.
It is a 1st and goal at the 1. And here's Morrell for the touchdown. Well, Bill Parcells expected problems, but not to these lengths. He is now trailing 20-0.
I think he expected a battle. Rich Kotite told us Friday that his team was still playing tough. They hadn't quit, and it showed up in previous games, but boy, they're having their way today.
That has so often become a cliche when you hear that a club still playing hard, although it's been a bad year, they haven't quit. But it is true with the Jets, and as you know, Sam, it's so difficult to keep a club together when the season is going so poorly. This team was 0-8 and then won in Arizona 2 weeks ago. Nick Lowry with the extra point. A flag is thrown. So a penalty marker is down. We have 5:58 remaining in the first half. And the call against the Patriots.
Holding, number 54 defense, pulling the offensive lineman to allow his teammates to go after a kick. The penalty is going to be assessed on the kickoff. Score is good.
All right, so there you have the explanation, and now we can take a break. The Jets 21, the Patriots nothing. We'll be right back.
Jerry Rice and the incomparable 49ers host the high-scoring Ravens. Or Dan Marino and the Dolphins face the Oilers. Or regional action, the NFL on NBC next Sunday.
A splendid first half for Adrian Morrell, who just scored the touchdown from a yard out. 41 yards for Morrell alone on that last drive, and a terrific kick by Don Silvestri. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
The touchdown just a moment ago, Ted Johnson, the inside linebacker at the top of your screen, his job is to fill the hole that Adrian Morrell just ran through. You can see from the end zone view right here. Watch the linebacker run across the field. Adrian Morrell just cuts back behind him. In a gap defense like that at the goal line, the linebacker's job is to fill that particular gap.
The New England Patriots have had the football only 5 minutes and 13 seconds in this first half. And Bledsoe going incomplete. Intended for Terry Glenn. It'll be a 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line. Let's check in with Len Berman.
Marv, here's the fellow who caught the ball that A.J. Morrell threw up into the stands after the second touchdown the Jets scored. Pete Paterko of Morristown, New Jersey. Big Jets fan?
Big Jet fan, about 35 years now. This is the high point of my 35 years. Next to Namath in the Super Bowl.
All right, stop down after the game. I'll get Morrell to autograph it for you.
I appreciate that.
By the way, Marvin, Sam Morrell is fined $500 for throwing this ball up to Pete. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Len. Curtis Martin stopped by Hugh Douglas. And again, the reaction. Hugh Douglas with a very strong first half, making it back from the fractured right ankle suffered against Miami in Game 3. At first, it was thought he'd only be spotted in passing situations with Mike Chilinsky, but he has been in there most of the way. It's a 3rd and 11 at the 19-yard line. Bledsoe. Oh, he was wrestled by Sean Jefferson into a completion. The Jets nearly came up with their third interception on a ball that was tipped.
4 wide receivers on a 3rd and long. It's a turn-in pattern by Sean Jefferson, and Drew Bledsoe is babying the ball. He's not putting a lot behind it. Now this one he gets almost tackled as he releases it, but he's not stepping into his throw. He's just laying it out there. That one is a fight between Aaron Glenn and Sean Jefferson Jefferson wins the battle.
Only the second completion for Bledsoe. It's good for 16 and a first down. And again, a soft pass. And the good coverage by the Jets. Curtis Martin taken down by Mark Spindler. And Marvin Jones picked up 3. It's a 2nd down and 7. This easily the best drive of the first half for the Patriots, who have not been able to get anything going. First 2 possessions, they were stopped on interceptions, then the fumble by Bledsoe, and then forced to punt.
Bledsoe's over warming up between series, trying to keep warm. He's just not throwing the ball with full force right now.
2nd and 7. And here's Martin. Try to pick his way, but he is stopped. Stopped behind the line by Marvin Washington. 21-0. The Jets on top. A Jet team that has owned or shared last place for 31 straight weeks. A Jet team that lost its first 8 games. They come off a bye week. In their last game 2 weeks back, they won at Arizona. 8 straight losses, 12 straight going back to last year. 3rd down and 7. And Bledsoe with his best looking pass of the day, able to complete for the first down. Lonnie Young on the tackle of Troy Brown.
Stepped into that throw and snapped the wrist, and you could tell by the flight of the ball. A nice tight spiral that time. The ball has been kind of porpoising, kind of bobbing as it flowed through the air up until this particular throw. That one tight as you can get it right in the middle.
And it's good for 16. Troy Brown in his 4th season out of Maryland, coming in with only his 8th catch of the season. And a first down at the Jet 47. Bledsoe with the screen for Martin. Has running room, has the blocking, cuts inside, and is able to move inside the 30-yard line where he was tackled by Victor Green, and that's good for 21.
Screen play set up. That time they brought Terry Glenn in short motion. He came across the field and became a blocker. You'll see the Glenn come across the field as Bledsoe sets up. Looks one way, throws back to the other side. Good blocking. You know, since the offensive linemen can extend their arms all over the field, I've often said that the screen pass and the sweeps ought to be bigger parts of the offense.
And a first down at the 26. That's Byers in motion. 2-minute warning. So when we come back, it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Patriots at the 26. The Patriots with their most impressive drive. First down of the 26 in Jet territory. And a wide open Terry Glenn able to score. That's his 3rd touchdown of the season. A 26-yard pass play, and obviously a breakdown on the part of the Jet secondary.
The Jets brought 1 linebacker and tried to play zone, or at least outside technique. Aaron Glenn, you see at the top of the screen, is sitting way outside looking in. Terry Glenn made a nice little move, just froze Aaron Glenn, and that's why he got open. That was a 1-on-1 victory.
8 plays, 80 yards, 4 minutes and 3 seconds. Adam Vinatieri for the extra point. But a demonstration as to how explosive the Patriots can be. It is now 21-7 Jets. 1:55 left in the half. Finding a blocker. Beautiful return across the 25. It's a 27-yard kick return. Marty Moore on the stop. And Drew Bledsoe off that last touchdown pass to Terry Glenn went over 13,000 career yards. The youngest player in NFL history to pass for 13,000.
A week ago against Miami with 59 seconds left, Drew Bledsoe led him 65 yards for a score. He got a nice big hug from Coach Bill Parcells. I don't know if he got one this time.
And those are rare hugs from Bill on the sideline. In this first half, he got a hug and a noogie, I think, from Parcells. Wayne Crevette with his first catch of the day. Wayne Crevette with catch number 52 comes in tied for 4th in the AFC in receptions. Otis Smith, the tackler on the play. Otis Smith, a one-time New York Jet. It'll be a 2nd down and 2. There is Otis. Played 4 years with the Eagles and a year with the Jets. A minute 44 to go in the first half. Inside handoff for Anderson. And he has a first down. Well, tonight on Dateline, what you don't know about your minivan, Sam, could cost you. A Dateline exclusive. And then they say this pill can improve your sex life. Is this a miracle drug or medical madness? That's Dateline Sunday later tonight here on NBC. Richie Anderson stopped by Otis Smith, and it is a first down. It's a 15-yard play.
And remember, they used 2 of their timeouts earlier by not getting the plays in time. Only 1 left in this drive.
And they're in the hurry up. Diving catch by Crevette. That's a Crevette specialty. Otis Smith on the cover. Picked up 5. It'll be a 2nd down and 5. Ball at the 42-yard line with 57 seconds to go in this first half. It's the Jets 21 and the Patriots 7. And right overthrowing Crevette, who was open. He was covered by Corwin Brown, but Crevette had a couple of steps.
They're just out of field goal range right now. They need to get another first down. They've got 1 timeout left, so and you would like to save that as an offense so that you can get your field goal team in there. But this is the crucial down right here, else they'll be just out of that field goal range with 53 seconds left.
Frank Reich, 10 of 15, 99 yards, 1 touchdown. Starting for the 4th straight game for the injured Neil O'Donnell, who the Jets say is at least 2 weeks away. They hope to get him back for the game against Buffalo. Right off the pop, and a beautiful catch, the diving catch by the rookie Alex Van Dyke. Covered by Ricky Reynolds for Van Dyke, his first reception, and it is a Jet first down at the Patriot 32. We're down to a half minute remaining in the half. Right firing, but comes up short. Trying to go right back to Van Dyke this time. Looking to go deep. Covered by Hitchcock.
Still with just 1 timeout left now, having used up 2 of them earlier on. But they're in field goal range right now, so they can afford to put it down the field, take their shot like that. This one either has to go out of bounds or they're probably going to call a timeout. Now, there's 29 seconds left. It's hard to reassemble for another play if the clock is running.
Although this would be a 49-yard attempt by Nick Lowry, who has struggled recently. He's had a knee problem in recent weeks. One of the reasons they brought back Don Silvestri for kickoffs. And again, the inside handoff. Anderson gets inside the 30, but the crowd questioning that play. The clock is running.
They have to run a play. They can't ground it. It's 3rd down.
They have the 1 timeout left. 3rd down and 8. And right going deep. Oh. Jeff Graham had an opportunity but could not make the catch. He had Lawyer Malloy beaten.
Blown coverage by the New England Patriots. I don't know what they were thinking. They looked like they were playing a normal distance there instead of covering for the down the field throw. Center fielder Malloy just can't get there, just off the fingertips of Jeff Graham. And Rich Kotite, every coach has been through that one. There's nothing you can do but watch it happen.
So here is Lowry. 48-yard attempt. He line drives it wide to the right. And Nick Lowry continues to struggle after the good start. He is now 9 of 15. 4 seconds remaining.
You know, we were out there Friday. Lowry was in the training room getting treatment on his knee. He's just trying to stay healthy for those instances right there. Wasn't good enough this time.
It'll be New England in possession. 4 seconds to go in the half.
Going to be a big second half here, Marv. New England has gotten back in this ball game as poorly as they play, turning the ball over, playing almost as if they're unaware of what's going on out there. They're only 2 scores away.
Well, they turn matters on that 16-yard catch by Sean Jefferson on a 3rd down and 11, where the Jets again had a shot at an interception off a deflection. And Bledsoe dumps it off to Meggett. See what he can do with it. Down the sideline. Had some running room, and that is bumped out of bounds by Victor Green. And that's how the first half comes to a close. 27-yard pass play. So at the half here at the Meadowlands, the Jets with a surprise in front of the Patriots. At one point led 21-0. It is now 21-7 at the half. Let's go to Greg Gumbel at our studios in Manhattan. Weiss, the Jets with a surprising 21-7 lead on the Patriots as we head to the second half. And earlier we talked about the green-colored rat traps that Bill Parcells had put right throughout the Patriot locker room during the course of the week as a warning. Do not take the 1-8 Jets for granted. And as it turns out, he was right. Would you demonstrate for me how this might work?
Put your finger right there and I'll show you. Actually, it's almost like that from the coach's standpoint. He's got his finger in this trap. He knows it's coming, and you try to talk to your players, but they know that they're a better football team in their own mind. And then you come up with a first half with stats like these, where the New England Patriots, who led the league coming into this game with 206 first downs, only had 7 in the first half.
A look at the Coors Light halftime statistics. And the Jets had the football 20 minutes, 38 seconds in the first half. Patriots just a shade over 9 minutes. Don Silvestri kicking it off to the combination of Dave Meggett and Troy Brown. And a short kick handled by Meggett. Accelerates, ran into his own man, and runs it out to the 33-yard line. Aubrey Beavers on the stop. 25-yard return by Meggett. So the Patriots to the offense. Well, Len Bourbon able to chat briefly with both head coaches Rich Kotite and Bill Parcells. Let's check in with Len.
All right, Marv. Rich Kotite said this defensive series very important. He will not stay conservative. He says offensively you can't win doing that. Bill Parcells said very simply, we stunk. We threw the ball 3 times in the first quarter. The 27 Yankees couldn't win doing that. Somehow working baseball into this analogy. Marv, Sam?
All right, thanks, Len. Bill always has a way of capturing the scenario. Curtis Martin with the call. Bill Parcells coming into today referring to himself as the Doug Moe of the NFL. Always has interesting analogies. That's because New England was throwing the ball around, making the comparison to Moe as an NBA coach, particularly with Denver, with high-power offense, very little defense. 2nd down and 5 from the 38-yard line, and Bledsoe able to complete at the 45-yard line, and you get the feeling he's beginning to heat up. Sean Jefferson with the catch, his 2nd reception, this one good for 17.
Sean Jefferson's coming from the slot and just turns in, and Rich Kotite said he wasn't going to get conservative, but this defense is a soft defense, almost a prevent style defense, giving you those turn-in patterns.
Now Terry Glenn is to the right. Jefferson to the left. First down at the Jet 44-yard line. Play action. And Bledsoe goes short range to Martin, who is hammered at the 41. The combination of Cascadden and Jones on the stop of Curtis Martin.
And in this half, the Jets have just brought 4 people and played straight zone behind it. And the zone hasn't been a tight zone. You know, we were to see a lot of zone coverage, but tight zone coverage. And that means that when the receiver moves up the field, it's virtually man-to-man as long as he stayed in the cornerback's area. That hadn't been the case here in the second half.
2nd down and 6. To this point, Ben Coates does not have a reception. Here's the reverse. Glenn. Terry Glenn inside the 20, inside the 15-yard line, and that surprised the Jets. A 26-yard pickup with a successful reverse.
Terry Glenn has a lot of speed. Bobby Greer, who personnel director for the Patriots, who wanted this player right here for these kinds of plays. He can break a game open. Once he gets into the open field, he's got some smarts right there, though he kind of concedes to tackle the 3 different Jet tackles.
New England first down inside the Jet 15-yard line. Bledsoe off the roll and has Byers. Byers eluding a tackle and looking for the marker, was hit down by Green. So Keith Byers with his first reception of the day.
And now a little variety from the Patriots. Not just a straight drop back pass where they were ineffective in the first half, but now they're getting out of the pocket, faking the run and rolling to the right. Simple play. Everybody's got it. The first time we've seen it today from the Patriots.
This is a good-looking drive by New England, and it has been a productive area for New England. 54% success rate. Second down and 2. Martin. Oh, he broke tackles, refusing to go down. Patriots indicating that he did get in. No official word. Bobby Hamilton was able to stop him short of the goal line.
When that side judge raises one hand, you know it's not a touchdown. He's marking the spot just short of the goal line. Remember, the front edge of that paint at the goal line is a touchdown. You don't have to cross the line. You just got to get into the white of the goal line paint. Just short of it there. The ball has to cross. His head did, but not the ball.
It is a first and goal at the 1. Byers in motion. And the diving Martin is in for the touchdown. Curtis Martin had 3 touchdowns last week. That is number 14 on the season, his 11th on the ground.
Up over the top. All you want your offensive lineman to do right here is create a pile where nobody can either jump up over and time the jump by the running back or reach up and hold him so they can't go over the top. That's what they did. The most important series of the second half is always the first series on offense and the first series on defense for your team. This one goes to the Patriots.
You have the feeling that Bill Parcells got the attention of his team during the halftime break?
I'm going to guess he didn't even mention the word rat trap either.
Then a 10th quarter, Rich Kotite telling Glenn Berman at halftime that he felt the first defensive series for the Jets would be critical. Well, the Patriots able to move right down the field and score to cut it to 21-14. Short kick played by Van Dyke. Alex Van Dyke looks to move to his left, trying to go wide, and he's taken out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A 17-yard return. Scooter Magruder on the coverage. 7 plays, 67 yards, capped off by the 1-yard plunge by Martin. And Bledsoe heating it up. 3 of 3 on that drive. He has completed his last 9 after that poor start. He opened up 1 of 5, including 2 interceptions. First down at the 29-yard line for the Jets. The major offensive weapon for the Jets in the first half, the running of Adrian Morrell. But Wright will throw on first down. Here's Keyshawn Johnson. 20-yard pickup. And for the rookie from USC, that is his first catch.
He can be a special player. That's as difficult a catch as there is. You're running one way, have to reach back, and doing it in the middle of the field. You don't know where they're coming from to make the tackle. Ball's thrown just in behind, over the linebacker. The job of the quarterback, of course, is to clear the linebacker and let the receiver make that kind of a catch.
First down at the 49. Morrell tried to get outside on the sweep, but could not. Ted Johnson and Willie McGinnis combined to stop Adrian Morrell.
Keyshawn Johnson is moving from his right to his left, coming in the middle, token fake, and as the ball comes over the linebacker's head, see him reach back. Now, the key to that is turn your hips. You can't just reach back with your shoulders, and you've got to be a very flexible athlete to do it. Keyshawn Johnson is.
In the 2 games since returning from arthroscopic knee surgery, and a very fast return for Keyshawn. 16 catches, better than 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Wright looking up top, couldn't find anyone, and down he goes. First sack of the day for the Patriots, and Willie McGinnis, who had 2 last week, is able to record his 8th sack of the season.
Willie McGinnis told us yesterday that he was challenged personally when Bill Parcells said everybody has to move it up a notch here as they meet their 4th division opponent in a row here in the New York Jets. He did it right there.
And he's come on strong the last 5 games. Although sacks don't always provide an indication as to how someone is playing. Pressure's also part of it. And Wright's pass is picked off. He was under pressure, and he was intercepted by Willie Clay. Willie Clay finding blockers and returns to midfield. Tackled by Matt O'Dwyer. Willie Clay with his 4th interception of the season, and things have turned in this 3rd quarter. Clay returning that interception 33 yards. Willie Clay, 15th career interception. Willie Clay, New England taking over at the Jet 48-yard line. 8:55 remaining 3rd quarter. Patriots now trail 21-14. Curtis Martin broke a tackle to the open field, running beautifully, and is taken down at the 26-yard line by Bobby Hamilton and Aaron Glenn. Martin for 23 yards.
Well, that's pretty. This guy runs not only with the power of his legs, but once his shoulders bend back and forth. Good job by the quarterback looking to his right before he throws the screen back to the left. Now watch Curtis Martin's shoulders. A lot of shake and bake, never giving any tackler enough to grab hold of and breaking loose as a result.
Sam Bledsoe now 11 of 16. He's completed 10 straight. Has a first down at the 26 and takes a timeout. Did not like what he saw. When we come back, it'll be 1st and 10 at the Jet 26. Bill Parcells right at the end of the first half.
Let me translate this. We spent all that money on rat traps and you're out there playing like this. And Willie Clay goes right back out there and intercepts in the next series.
It is a first down at the Jet 26-yard line. Bledsoe to the sideline and completes to Terry Glenn, who took the bump from Aaron Glenn, just short of a first down.
This is from the tongue lashing he took in the 2nd quarter. Back to the interception just a moment ago. Right down the middle. Overthrows everybody, he thinks, but William Clay, who used to be a cornerback and has extremely good hands, not a real good open field tackler, but a good receiver as a defensive back.
Off the 2nd and 2, a hole from Martin, running well, and has a first down. He was hit by the free safety, Gary Jones, and the Patriots with a first down at the New York Jet 11-yard line.
The Jets, Marv, have the look of a team that's expecting this to happen, and that is the turnaround of momentum. The Patriots, on the other hand, have gone right back to game plan. Good mix of plays in this drive and the last drive.
Remember, back in week 3, the Jets led Miami 14-0 and lost the game to the Dolphins 36-27. Now this time Martin is trapped and stopped behind the line. Marvin Jones made the tackle. The Jets were able to jump out to a 21-0 lead here this afternoon. It is now 21-14 with the Patriots threatening. 2nd and 11, loss of a yard. 6:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Drew Bledsoe on fire following the slow start. Here's Bledsoe. A bullet pass that is incomplete. Intended for Sean Jefferson. So he had completed 11 consecutive.
And the look from Drew Bledsoe was that Sean Jefferson ran the wrong play because he stood up to throw an inside route, stepped into it. Sean Jefferson broke to the outside. He had to recock the throw and he grounded it.
It is a 3rd down and 11. Crowd trying to urge the Jet defensive unit on. Bledsoe able to take a long look and then threw it away. That was not intended for Hassan Graham, number 81, although he got close to it. Bledsoe saw everyone was covered and just flipped it out of the end zone.
Save the field goal position, don't lose any. You know, it was an interesting study right there. You could feel the Jets feeling sorry for themselves almost. The crowd decided they were going to get in there and pump them up a little bit. People were standing up, raising their hands. Got them fired up a little bit. At least the stands were fired up.
It's like some cool moments there between Bill Parcells and Drew Bledsoe. A 30-yard field goal attempt for Adam Vinatieri, who has turned things around after a rocky start. He is now connected on 14 of his last 17, and the Jet lead is now 4. Vinatieri to kick it away. The deep man for the Jets is Henry Bailey, the up man Alex Van Dyke. And it's played by Bailey to the 20, 25, and hauled down. 19-yard return. Otis Smith making the tackle. Well, tonight, a 7:47. Jets from their 25-yard line. 1st and 10. Morrell reaching out near the 30-yard line. Adrian Morrell, a 5th-round draft pick in his 4th season out of West Virginia, emerged as a starter last season. It appeared that his true niche was as a change-of-pace running back, and he was able to change people's mind on that. He could not get out of that image.
Well, he is out of that image now in the minds of everybody that plays against him. Bill Parcells called him the best running back in the division. I think everybody calls him one of the better running backs in this league.
2nd and 5 from the 30. Morrell off the pitch. Trying to accelerate, but taken down. Good pursuit by Chris Slade.
Now, Chris Slade didn't start today, and the reason was Bill Parcells said that some of the guys on this team didn't have enough to do. Others were being overloaded, and Chris Slade was one of those guys. So Dwayne Sabb started for him, but Chris Slade was going to see a lot of action.
But you get the idea that Parcells not necessarily happy with his recent play, and a message there. So Sabb in the starting lineup, but as you say, Slade is still seeing quite a bit of action.
Yeah, looking at film, Slade had been playing very well of late.
3rd down and 2. The pitch for Anderson, and he has a 1st down. An unusual pitch tossed by Frank Wright.
That play was introduced by the Pittsburgh Steelers years ago out of the shotgun formation. It is almost a pass, almost a run, but it's quick to the outside, and you pull the guard or the tackle. You see the right tackle right there. David Williams pulls around, has the angle, and then it's just a speed sweep. This has the look of the first couple of drives the Jets had. They're going back to their fundamental football. They've had 2 weeks to prepare, and they practiced fundamentals during those 2 weeks.
Jets 1st and 10 outside the 40-yard line. That's Keyshawn Johnson in motion. Morrell to the other side, the left side, and runs up to the 44. Sangapulotelli and Brown, Monty Brown, make the stop. Ron Earhart, offensive coordinator for the New York Jets, and a close friend of Bill Parcells. They worked together with the Giants and also worked together with New England when Earhart was head coach of the Patriots, and Bill Parcells was a young assistant on his staff.
Gave Bill his first job, and a lot of respect between those two men.
2nd down and 6 with 3:45 left in the 3rd quarter. Morrell tripped up. Stopped at the 44 by Monty Brown.
Big play coming up here on 3rd down. The last series, the Jets defense held the Patriots to only 3 points. Now, if they can continue the drive right here, they can kill the momentum that the Patriots had gained going into this 2nd half. Boy, look at Rich going back and forth. That's the cage lion technique right there. There's nowhere to go. The poor guy behind you carrying the cord is trying to keep up with you and keep you untangled. You don't know which way you're going to go next either.
3rd and 6. Oh, bad snap. Played by Wright. And I don't know if he was throwing it away or was looking for Keyshawn Johnson, but an interference call will be made. Jimmy Hitchcock who had an adventurous day against the Dolphins last week, a target of Dan Marino on the coverage of Johnson. Hitchcock did come on later in the game last week. He was called for a couple of pass interferences, and that did come up with an interception later on.
Outside release by Keyshawn Johnson. Now watch the arm. You can see right here that Hitchcock is just reaching out. He's boxing Keyshawn Johnson out, but you can't do it down the field. You've got to give him a chance to run up the field. Official right in position to make the call. That's an easy one. That's interference every time out.
Jimmy Hitchcock not in agreement with that decision. Third-round pick a year ago out of North Carolina. Jimmy Hitchcock, 1st and 10 at the 32, and right, incomplete, tipped away by Willie Clay. That was a touchdown-saving tip. Keyshawn Johnson was right in sight with Reich on target, but Clay got a piece of it.
This one is firing down the field, as Rich Kotite said he was going to do in this half. He wasn't going to get conservative. Frank Reich had somebody open underneath, but he took the shot down the field. Right there, Lawyer Milloy. Boy, that's an interesting first name. That's a legal hit. You can't lead with your head, but you can lead with that shoulder pad.
A legal hit by the lawyer. Yeah. 2nd and 10 from the 32-yard line, and Morrell with a hard driving move picks up short yardage. Ted Johnson, the middle linebacker, on the stop. 2:35 remaining in this third quarter. The Jets 21 and the Patriots 17. At one point, the Jets led 21-0. Third down and 7 at the 29-yard line. Patriots with a record of 6-3, lost their first 2 games at Miami, at Buffalo. Since then, they have won 6 of 7, including wins over Buffalo and Miami. They've won the last 3 against division opposition. Right to the open Corbett. Broke a tackle inside the 10, trying to cut back, and has a first down and more. A 29-yard pass play.
The defender fell down. The New York Jets had 5 wide receivers in the game. They brought 1 receiver in motion to read the coverage. They read man-to-man coverage. Corbett in the backfield. Now he slips to the strong side and back across. Wide open after the Otis Smith lost his footing. And now Wade Corbett, what a fun guy to watch. Even down the field, he's going to try to score on his own. No more blockers down there, just about 11 Patriots in pursuit.
Third catch of the day for Corbett, 54 for the season. 1st and goal at the 9. The sweep developing. Adrian Morrell stopped by Mike Jones.
Right in the middle of the field, you see Otis Smith, who's in there in the nickel or the dime situation, playing a linebacker type. Right in the middle of the hash marks, loses his footing as he tries to change direction and go across with Wayne Corbett. Nobody around him. From that point on, it's Corbett versus Patriots.
Bill Parcells, a huge fan of Wayne Corbett. He was talking about him last night. He describes Corbett as a young Steve Largent, which was a thrill for Corbett to hear. He's a young man who grew up in Garfield, New Jersey. Intended for Jeff Graham. Wayne Corbett idolized Bill Parcells and the Giants as a youngster. So he was thrilled to hear the comments that were made about him. It's a third down, 3rd and goal at the 8-yard line with 31 seconds left, third quarter.
You know, some players come into this league, they have all the advantages, a lot of expectations, they get every opportunity in the game. A guy like Corbett comes in, he's got to earn everything he does. You kind of pull for those guys more.
Right out of the shotgun. Throwing end zone, broken up, kept away from Keyshawn Johnson once again. Jimmy Hitchcock with a bobble act to break up that pass play.
Very close to offensive interference that time against Keyshawn Johnson. Could have been called. They get right into the corner of the end zone and jostle each other a little bit. Now watch Keyshawn Johnson. He turns around. This is a time throw into the corner. The ball's underthrown. Okay. I think probably a little phone call on Tuesday to the office from the Patriots on that one. Would you please review this one for us in the league office?
On a 26-yard attempt by Nick Lowry, who missed from long range earlier, missed from 48. Just did make it. So the Jets get the 3 back and now lead it 24-17. 24-17, and here's Don Silvestri with the kickoff. Dave Baggett fielding. Out to the 15. Scudder steps his way, looking for the sideline and take it out of bounds. Aubrey Beavers on the coverage. Well, Rich Kotite with some anxious moments on that last drive, and sigh of relief off the successful field goal by Nick Lowry.
Emptied the lungs on that one, didn't he? He's still exhaling.
That drive kept alive off the 23-yard interference penalty that was called on Jimmy Hitchcock on a 3rd down and 6. That was a key play. 11 seconds to go. 3rd quarter, 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Short set by Bledsoe, and that pass deflected. 8 seconds left in the 3rd. Bledsoe to the sideline, has a 1st down. Terry Glenn on the reception. That is his 4th catch of the day. Stepped out of bounds to stop the clock with 3 seconds remaining in the quarter.
And we're looking at 2 of the best young wide receivers in the league. If, barring an injury, these guys are going to be favorites for a long time in Terry Glenn and Keyshawn Johnson.
Well, that is the end of the 3rd quarter. The Jets lead by 7. Will return after these messages from your local station. On to the 4th quarter at the New Jersey Meadowlands. The Jets 24, Patriots 17. At one point, the Jets led 21-0. Bledsoe able to complete. Once again, Sean Jefferson on the reception, stopped by Aaron Glenn. That's 3 for Jefferson, making the catch right at the marker, just shy of a 1st down. Well, today, 6 Patriots have caught at least 1 pass. The missing name is Ben Coates, who to this point has been blanked.
Last week he had 5 catches for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Back to the ground. Martin has a 1st down, stopped by Hugh Douglas. Now, last week, 9 different Patriots made catches, led by Terry Glenn, who had 10 receptions for 112 yards. You mentioned Coates with the 5 last week.
That's right. And when a quarterback is throwing to that many receivers, you know that he is going through his progression. He's not forcing the ball down the field. He is reading what's happening down there, and he's hitting the open man, generally the open man, on time.
1st down at midfield. Play action. And Bledsoe has Byers. Short pickup, though. Victor Green with the stop on Keith Byers. Victor Green has the responsibility of the tight end. Byers is the 2nd tight end in this Patriot formation. And the Jets this season have been hurt badly by tight ends.
They've had 6 touchdown passes caught by tight ends this year. Victor Green's job, though, is to read through the tight end. If he reads the run, he's got to be the quick force. So play action works against him.
2nd and 7 at the Jet 47-yard line. Beautiful play action fake. And the nice catch made by a sputtering Martin, who was able to get away. Curtis Martin with a beautiful spin. 30 yards on that pass play. It was Carl Greenwood who was able to make the tackle. Greenwood is playing for Ray Mickens, who went down with a strained quad. But what a move by Martin.
Token fake to Martin. He's not really forgotten. The linebackers are keeping him in front. The catch is made. In position right there is Marvin Jones, who's back from an injury himself. Martin is just too much fun to watch. Watch those shoulders. He runs with every part of his body.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line, and that is catch number 1 by Ben Coates. Bringing to the 10, where he was met by Marvin Jones.
Another look at Curtis Martin. Now, once he's got the ball under his arm, let's just enjoy the run.
I'm enjoying it, sir.
I'm enjoying it, too. You know what you see? Look at all the over-pursuing players running by him instead of even getting a hand on him. He's not breaking tackles as much as he's making them miss in the open field.
And Marvin Washington is on the ground, shaken up. Marvin Washington, 8-year man from Idaho who made the move from outside defensive end to inside, being checked over, will take a timeout. .26 remaining fourth quarter. Marvin Washington hobbling to the sideline, looked to be a knee. We also notice Hugh Douglas has been limping. Hugh Douglas has come back from the fractured ankle, has played very well. 5 tackles, a sack, and a fumble recovery. Curtis Martin stopped by Bobby Houston. And it brings up a 3rd and 7, a loss of 3 on the play.
The Patriots tried to catch the Jets asleep with a very quick count. The Jets were into a blitz situation. Bobby Houston filled in the gap and was right there.
And again, the crowd urging on this Jet defensive unit. 3rd down play from the 12-yard line. And a flag is tossed. Bledsoe's pass went incomplete. Terry Glenn outside the end zone, but a penalty marker is down.
False start. Number 68 on the offense, moving prior to the snap. The 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That is the right tackle, Max Lane, called for the false start.
We could hear the whistle up here, but the crowd was going so loud that the players didn't. They carried it out. That's a no play. And as soon as that tackle moved, they were blowing the whistle 5 yards. Not much movement by Max Lane prior to the snap. Well, you got to be seeing everything to see that. Just a little clinch. They call it, though.
Sets it back to a 3rd and 11. At the 17-yard line again, flags. You saw movement at both ends. Bledsoe completes for the touchdown to Ben Coates. And let's see what the flags are about.
I think the flag is against the defense and will be declined. They'll take the touchdown.
Offside on the penalty is declined. Touchdown.
You always play through every play. On the previous one, the officials stop the play. Of course, if they don't stop it, play it out as if there hasn't been a flag. You'll make the decision later. And Ben Coates, a moment ago, we had the graphic where he hadn't caught a pass. Now he's caught 2 since then. 1 for the touchdown right here in the middle. Occasionally, you'll see a defensive player stop before an offensive player. I think some of the Jets did on that play themselves.
17-yard touchdown pass play for Coates, his 7th touchdown of the season. And Vinatieri has tied the game at 24. Drew Bledsoe coming on strong in the second half. Henry Bailey for an interception on the kick return.
Second time he's done it, too, and he shouldn't do it the first time. Bailey makes the call. A moment ago, the touchdown to Ben Coates right in the middle of the field. He's going to release from the top of the screen. He'll nod to the outside and then back into the middle. Nobody there. The penalty really didn't slow anybody down. I think they just won the battle on that particular play, and Drew Bledsoe knows he just put this thing back to even.
Bledsoe 18 of 26, 248 yards, 2 touchdowns, picked off twice early, got off to the slow start and has turned things. 11:15 remaining in the 4th. Morrell broke a tackle. Patriots thought they had him, but Morrell pulled away and then was taken down by Ted Johnson.
You know what happens in the mind game when you're a New York Jet in this situation? You feel like you're behind. You're way behind in the game. The score is even. It's anybody's football game. But when you've been ahead and the other team has had the momentum for this long, you can sometimes feel like in the first quarter only 1 yard total, and then the complete turnaround for the second half.
2nd and 1. Baxter in motion. Morrell on a delay has the first down. Running across the 35-yard line, Lawyer Malloy on the tackle. There's the stat line on Drew Bledsoe in his 4th NFL season out of Washington State. In the 6 wins, he has been splendid. 65% completion average, 13 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, and obviously a different story in the 3 New England losses. 5 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter. Play action. And Wright's pass incomplete, intended for the backup tight end Fred Baxter. Some surprises this afternoon. Buffalo convincingly over Philadelphia. How about Kansas City doing it to Green Bay? 27-13 in the 3rd. And Miami rolling over Indianapolis. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with a couple of touchdown runs. Pittsburgh's had a tough time with Cincinnati. Bruce Koslip coming in 2-0 since taking over from David Shula. Arizona hanging in against the Washington Redskins. 2nd down and 10. And Wright throws it away.
Got a little itchy on that one. He had more time to let things happen down the field before he had to throw that one out. That was a special play. It had to be, because he was looking for only one guy, and when he didn't pop free, he threw it away quick. You know, after you call one like that, you see that result as the head coach or the offensive coordinator, you're saying, why in the world did we pull that one out at that time?
The Jets looking at a 3rd and 10 at their 36-yard line.
5 wide receivers.
Trebek in motion. And Wright going deep down the field. Richie Anderson. Beautiful catch. Willie Clay made the stop. It's a 49-yard pass play.
You know, I called 5 wide receivers. One of the receivers lined up wide was the fullback, Richie Anderson. He's in the slot up at the top of the screen. This is called a seam pass, or just run straight down the field, and there's a little hole in behind where you see the linebacker or the defensive back playing the linebacker. That was Corwin Brown. Settle down, he throws a pretty pass, but a tremendous catch for a running back. That is, the ball is in the air a long time. You've got to make a very good eye, put a very good eye on it to catch it.
Showing excellent hands, Richie Anderson sets it up as a 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line, and a timeout is called. So the Jets have to talk it over. 9:05 left in the 4th. The game tied at 24. For the Jets at the Patriots 16-yard line. Adrian Morrell stopped by Ted Johnson. That 50-yard pass play, they're now calling it 50 yards to Richie Anderson, the longest of his NFL career. 2-yard pickup for Morrell, and a 2nd down and 8. Here comes Anderson back on the field. 5 catches, 84 yards for Anderson. Adrian Morrell has run for 128 yards on 31 carries. 2nd down and 8. Right. It is broken up. The pass intended for Morrell, and he was hit from behind by the middle linebacker, Ted Johnson.
You know, it's tough when they bring Richie Anderson in like that. Actually, it was a late substitution. He could come in as a running back, or as we have seen, as a wide receiver. Two totally different defensive problems for the Patriots. The late substitution like that prevented the Patriots from making a sub to match up. Now on a 3rd and long, though, they'll be playing the pass.
3rd down and 8. Johnson and Graham flank to the right. Prevented Anderson on the left. Anderson in the slot on the left. And Wright throwing for Anderson. Covered by Malloy.
Now, as they lined up right there, Jumbo Elliott is lining up all the way in the backfield. His shoulders are turned. One week the officials would call that every snap. The next week they don't. It's very inconsistent on when they call who's on the line of scrimmage and who's not. Watch Frank Reich at the very end of the play. not very happy. He wanted his receiver to go somewhere else, I assume. He certainly didn't put it where the receiver was.
And now the field goal unit has come on. 4th down and 8 for the Jets. This about a 32-yard kick for Lowry, who's 1 of 2. Hit from 26, missed from 48. This for the lead, and he's got it. The Jets recapture the lead. They're up 27-24. 8:17 left in the 4th. Silvestri kicking off. And this is Dave Meggett putting the speed on and taken down across the 40-yard line. A 32-yard return. Ronald Moore was able to chase him down. Let's check in with Greg Gumbel.
All right, Marv, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh in Cincy. The pitch to Eric Bieniemy. Watch the block by number 71, Willie Anderson. I'll see you later. Clears the way for a 33-yard touchdown. Bieniemy into the end zone. The extra point ties this game. Bengals giving the Steelers a battle. 24 all. 4 minutes from change left in the 3rd, Marv.
All right, Greg, well, things turning for the Cincinnati Bengals since Bruce Coslet, the one-time head coach of the Jets, took over. Terry Glenn taking a pop. That's his 5th catch of the day, met by Cascadden and Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn set him up, and then Chad Cascadden finishes him off. Looking at it at normal speed, this is what it was like right on the field. Ball's thrown in the flat. Aaron Glenn's going to slow him up, and then Chad Cascadden right now.
Oof, lost the helmet in the process.
Yeah, but he didn't lose his ring. Yes. The earring, yes.
2nd down and 4. Bledsoe's pass sailing high over the head of Sean Jefferson. That one got away.
If you're the coach right now on both sides of the ball, you're figuring you're going to have about 2 possessions apiece. That could extend if they're quick, of course, and you don't make any first downs. But 2 possessions apiece means that to the New England Patriots, they got to get in the end zone this time or they're into that desperation period.
Well, there's been a lively crowd. The Jets receiving the support. Again, the defensive unit being urged on in this 3rd down and 4 for New England. A bullet thrown by Bledsoe, short of the first down. The catch by Coates, but Victor Green had the reps. Victor Green at 5'9", able to tie up the 6'5" Ben Coates.
And Rich Kotite said he wouldn't be conservative. They brought 5 rushers that time, tight man-to-man coverage. Hit right on the catch, not enough for the first down.
And it looks like the Patriots will go for it at midfield. A 4th down and 2.
And the crowd's going to get into it now.
Well, with 6:45 left in the 4th quarter, they're going for the first down. Bledsoe with the time, able to slingshot it, and we'll have to see where they mark it. Ben Coates, gang tackle. Marvin Jones led the way, but the important factor here is where the official says Coates made the catch.
Very generous spot. Very, very generous spot.
And it will be a first down.
It looks to be. And when he caught the ball, it did not look like a first down from up here. And we're just about got the clean look down the sideline of it. They'll measure this one, though, to be sure.
Here come the yardsticks.
I think the crowd saw what we saw, the generous spot of the official. First down. And remember, it's forward momentum. The ball is caught at about the 49-yard line. He gets just barely across the 50-yard line. And the spot is barely across the 49-yard or 51-yard line, I started to say.
Yes.
Yeah, that's in another league.
Sam thinking of his days in the Canadian Football League. And Bledsoe's pass is caught. He fires with his 3rd reception. Jones and Cascade made the stop. That spot could be the play of this 4th quarter. No question, a huge break for the Patriots.
Well, they're going to be in field goal position here very shortly with plays like this. Quick hit after the catch. Keith Byers can play all the positions. Fullback and tight end, go down the field and catch like that every time.
Sean Jefferson flanked to the left. Terry Glenn in the slot left. Second and about a yard. Fake draw, comes back on a flea flicker. Bledsoe has Glenn open. What a play by the Patriots. Gary Jones making the tackle. A 28-yard pass play. Well, Air Parcells is going wild.
And let me tell you how big a gamble that is, because when they flip the ball back, if one of the rushers doesn't take the bait and comes right back with the quarterback, they would knock themselves well out of field goal range back to midfield. Good job this time by Bledsoe, just throwing the ball way off to the right and letting Terry Glenn go get it. Don't try to throw it right to him.
Terrific call by the Patriots. They now have a 1st and 10 at the 12 as Byers in motion. Play action. Bledsoe throws it away. He saw that Byers was well covered by the strong safety, Victor Green, and he tossed it over his head.
Smart play. Don't take a chance right now. You're down here in a tight, easy field goal range. You're out of the tackle-to-tackle box. You can throw the ball away, and Hugh Douglas, playing for the first time in several weeks, that ankle not looking like it's going to hold up.
He was hobbling earlier, come up with a very strong performance, and now forced to the sideline. 2nd and 10 down at the 12, and New England calls for time. 4 minutes, 47 seconds to go. 4th quarter. Patriots driving, trailing the Jets by 3. Taken down by Victor Green. So with 4:35 remaining in this 4th quarter, the Jets with a 27-24 lead, clinging to a 3-point advantage, and the Patriots in possession to move in front off the 1st and goal down at the 2.
They started this drive trying to move the ball quickly. Now they want to slow everything down and eat the clock up.
Gash and Martin in the backfield. Byers in motion. Bledsoe with all kinds of time. Fires, touchdown! Keith Byers in the back of the end zone has given the Patriots the lead.
Victor Green is complaining that Keith Byers pushed off. It was a play-action fake off the right side. Bledsoe held the ball a long time. I don't think the Jets found the ball very quickly, and in the process, Victor Green feels like he was fouled. Good positive throw by Bledsoe, though. You don't want to leave that ball in the air in the end zone like that very long.
And this is Adam Vinatieri gunning for the extra point, and a 4-point Patriot lead. So Drew Bledsoe now 24 of 34, 297 yards, just completed the touchdown pass to that man, Keith Byers. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The intercepts were early, and the Patriots now lead 31-27.
Token fake that time. Back inside. We couldn't see the push off that Victor Green was complaining about. But Byers, as he releases in motion, he's going to chop down like he's going to be the blocker at the point of attack. Releases up the field and pushes away, maybe because he was being held a little bit too. But that's just in close contact right there. And at that point, Victor Green may not have realized whether it was a run or a pass.
First time today the Patriots have had the lead. They were down at one point, 21-0. And for Byers, his first touchdown of the season. Keith Byers played for Rich Kotite with the Philadelphia Eagles. Played for Jimmy Johnson in Miami. They did not split on good terms. Released by the Dolphins. Not a happy departure. And has played very well for the Patriots. Henry Bailey on the kick return. Try to stiff arm his way. Good tackling by New England. A return of 15. Corwin Brown making the stop. Well, next Sunday, NBC Sports presents more NFL action at the special time of 12 noon Eastern with the NFL on NBC. And most of you will see the Jets go up against the Indianapolis Colts. Others will see Drew Bledsoe and these Patriots host John Elway and the Denver Broncos. And then the second half of the twin bill, Dan Marino and the Dolphins battle the Houston Oilers. Check your local listings for the game in your area. 1st and 10 for the Jets at the 24-yard line. Play action for Wright. Fake the throw, and then was almost intercepted. Todd Collins had it within his grasp, could not hold on.
I don't know who Frank Wright was trying to get the ball to right there. Obviously, it was his last choice. He'd made a token fake, looking down the field, nothing developed. Watch him fake off the right side right now. Token fake to Morrell, looks back to the left, pumps, pulls it back, and now he's trying to find Rich Anderson down the field. Todd Collins in position but couldn't hold on.
2nd down and 10 from the 24. 3:45 left, 4th quarter. Long look by Wright, and in the middle of the field, able to connect with Graham. Has a 1st down and some more. Willie Clay with the cover-up tackle, 17-yard pickup, and a 1st down for the Jets at their 41-yard line.
The Jets are in no hurry right now. There's 3.5 minutes to go. They don't care about giving the ball back to the New England Patriots after they score. Their first job is to score. There's no rush. Plenty of time.
'84, Baxter in motion. Morrell to the outside. Could not make the turn. A flag comes flying. Willie Clay making the tackle.
And it looks like holding against the New York Jets. The one thing you don't want to do when you get in a situation like this is make a mistake that costs yourself 10 yards.
Number 84 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Well, Fred Baxter, who usually has been the man in motion, called for the hold.
Here he comes in motion. The ball's going to go to the right side. As it bounces out to the right, Fred Baxter's just reaching. Boy, unless he comes back and grabs somebody else, that's not holding.
Only the 3rd penalty assessed on the Jets. Patriots hit for 5. It's a 1st and 20 at the 31. Wright couldn't find anyone, and now does short range. Keyshawn Johnson lost his balance.
That's okay. Just get some of it back. You don't have to make the 1st down on the first play. Still 2 minutes, 45 seconds to go. New England is going to put their 2-minute defense in there, their dime defense, because this is obviously going to be passing most of the way.
2nd and 13. The numbers on Frank Wright, making his 4th straight start for the injured Neil O'Donnell. Long-time backup Jim Kelly in Buffalo. Screen play, Anderson can't get much out of it. Stopped by Clay and Smith. Clock is running. We are approaching 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter. What a second half, though, for the Patriots. 4 possessions, 3 touchdowns, and a field goal to take the lead. They are up 31-27 with 2 minutes remaining in the 4th. The Jets at one point had a 21-0 lead. The Patriots, following the poorly played first half, able to turn things around in the second half. They now lead 31-27. Timeouts remaining. Jets with 2, Patriots with 1 left. Patriots trying to make it 4 straight wins, 7 of their last 8, and a record of 7-3. Buffalo in its game against the Philadelphia Eagles, 24-17 in the 4th quarter. They come into today at 6-3. And Wright incomplete. Anderson should have caught it. So it brings up a 4th down and 10 from the 41 with 1:56 left in the 4th.
No choice here. You've got to go for it on 4th down, even though the Jets have 2 timeouts remaining.
Well, they have just used one of those timeouts, so the Jets are down to 1 with 1:56 left. was entangled with Otis Smith. Otis Smith, a one-time Jet, providing the coverage on Wayne Corbett.
Pass interference. Number 45 on the defense. That's the first down.
It is a first down on the interference.
This is the fourth down play a moment ago. Frank Reich is getting tremendous protection down the field. Jeff Graham just crossing pattern, and that last reach right there ensured the first down. I think he had it anyway, but he wanted to make sure.
It is a first down at the New England 45. 1:29 to go, fourth quarter. And flags are thrown.
Jumbo Elliott moved just a little bit before the snap, I believe.
Ball start. Number 76 on the offense with the 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's hard for the tackles to be still out there. They know it's going to be on a 2-minute count, which is usually ready, set, or some count on the second sound that the quarterback says, and they anticipate it. They know that the defensive ends are coming hard up the field. You can see on the alignment there that the tackles take as much room as they can. They back up as far as they can to take away the angle. He just moved a little bit early, anticipating too much.
First down and 15 from the 50. If Keyshawn Johnson could not hold on. Diving attempt, cutting across the field, covered by Smith.
Good throw by Frank Wright, right into the body of the receiver. You don't want to make him reach for a play like this, and he doesn't. Just didn't put it away. And Rich Kotite can't do anything except react just like that. Once the players go out on the field, it's up to them.
Oh, deflecting from the coaching.
It was not the coach's fault that time.
Sam speaking from personal experience.
Absolutely.
Second down and 15 as Wright throws. Oh, what a catch by Jeff Graham inside the 30. He did it in traffic. Beautiful catch by Graham. It's good for 22. Clock is running. 1:10 to go. Jets with one timeout remaining. Trailing 31-27, a first and 10 at the 28-yard line. High snap. And Wright goes to the sideline. Keyshawn Johnson with the reception inside the 15-yard line, covered by Ricky Reynolds. And that stopped the clock. 56 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
Jeff Graham coming from the slot makes the same kind of a catch that Keyshawn Johnson made earlier in the ball game up over the middle. Has to twist his body coming back to the backside. A veteran catch in a clutch situation. And then on the next snap, Keyshawn Johnson makes another good catch and gets out of bounds to stop that clock.
10th play of the drive. 2nd and 6 at the New England 24-yard line. Right for Johnson. A Jet first down at the 11. Hitchcock and Malloy on the stop. The clock running. Jets do have one timeout left.
The Patriot corners are funneling everything inside, and the Jets are taking advantage of it.
Another high snap. And Reich in trouble. Just tosses it away to stop the clock with a half-minute remaining.
Good move. He's out of the tackle box. He can throw that ball anywhere he wants to, as long as it gets to or beyond the line of scrimmage, which he did.
Reich facing the pressure from the left defensive end, Mike Jones, who was in his face. Reich now 22-41, 281 yards. Frank Reich has been able to mastermind a couple of comebacks in his days, coming off the bench for the Buffalo Bills. 2nd and 10 at the 11. 30 seconds to go, fourth quarter. Reich with a bullet that is dropped. Wayne Corbett, the intended receiver, looking for an interference call.
Otis Smith was in the coverage. Is this pure judgment by the official? Does Otis get there prior to the ball, or is it simultaneous? Very close. The key there is you notice his left hand was not hooking the receiver. And of course, Rich Kotite and everybody that's a Jet fan wants that flag thrown.
28 seconds remaining, fourth quarter. Patriots 31 and the Jets 27. It's a 3rd and 10 at the New England 11. And Wright throwing for the end zone. And again, Jet fans looking for a penalty, but that was not a catchable ball. Keyshawn Johnson involved with Ricky Reynolds. I wouldn't be surprised if Keyshawn took a little fall there trying to draw the penalty.
I think he did. I think, in fact, that's what a veteran would do, and he's a rookie doing it. The ball was clearly not catchable, so there's not going to be any flag thrown, but you see right at the top of the screen, inside move, then back to the outside. All of that contact goes by the boards if the ball's not reachable. 4th down.
It has come down to a 4th and 10 at the 11. 23 seconds remaining. Patriots by 4. Wright in trouble throwing, and it is tipped away. Incomplete. Looked like Lawyer Malloy got a piece of it.
And you know, Marv, on that play, it looked like the 40-second clock actually went down to 0, which would have canceled that play out and given them another chance. But the ball was snapped right at 0, and the officials let it go. It's okay. The offensive line has done such a good job. The last couple of snaps have been a little porous.
Lots of coverage on Graham, who had a shot at it.
He made 2 big catches in this drive, though, to get him down there that close.
17 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Bill Parcells apprehensive about what he called a trap here at the Meadowlands. Did not take anything for granted, although this Jet Club is 1-8, coming off a victory over Arizona. But the Patriots escape with a win. And they go to a record of 7-3. They've now won 4 straight, all divisional games. They have won 7 of their last 8, while the Jets dropped to 1 up and 9 down. And the Patriots next week home for Denver, followed by a home game against Indianapolis, and then they play at San Diego, while the Jets next week will play the Colts in Indianapolis, and then we'll be up in Buffalo. New England Patriots, led by the Drew Bledsoe second half turnaround, able to pull it out. It was
they're back.